Hey everyone, welcome. It's okay to be okay. I'm Chrystal here with Melissa and Jen. And kind of the common theme lately, we're not really sure what we want to talk about today. So we're just going to jump in and see where our conversation leads to. So anybody who wants to jump in, feel free.
I had a bit of a weird dream last night.
I do want to hear about your dream.
It was really short, but it really affected me. So last night I was having a dream, and in this dream I'm in bed with my partner and I'm at my dad's house, but it's not my dad's house. And it must have been about 2:30 or 3:00 in the morning in my dream, which is probably about the same time anyway. And I hear the doorbell go. Now I'm still asleep, but I'll go out of bed, and instantly my gut tells me to stay in bed, like there's danger or something happening. And then a little bit later, all of a sudden, an explosion happens. Now this is where it gets weird. The explosion doesn't feel like it's in the dream, it feels like it's in my brain. And it was like this flash of like light and explosion, but it felt like it was something that was happening inside my brain. And then I kind of woke up. You know that feeling you get, like the adrenaline when you have like a nightmare or something? I woke up with that, and then I just sat with it. I was like, what was that? Like, what the fuck was that? And then it kind of like went, but I'm not sure like what that was. Like, I've never experienced that before. And I'm wondering, like, was that something in my brain? Did I like let go of something? Did I destroy an old loop or like a habit, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it quite was.
You know what came to me just now was, I don't know who I was listening to on a live call I know it was a 3PGC, right? And they were talking about Elsie Spittle and when she had her first insight, and she was so excited to tell Sid about her first insight, and he would just tell her, shh. And she's like, but with the excitement, she really, really, really wanted to share it with him. And he just kept saying, and he told her, just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. And I don't remember the rest of that, but there was a point of keeping it to yourself and like letting it just be what it is. And so I think I hear that with the whole explosion thing. Like, don't try to figure it out.
Yes.
Let it grow and expand, and it will become evident to you, I believe, of what it was and how. And then you can tell us if you want to. I love that,
Yeah.
though. We could speculate all day.
Yeah.
But
I know my mind was going like, what was that? Oh, what happened there? Oh, because it was so like, yeah, it was just just feeling this explosion in my head, but it wasn't a dream. It just, yeah, so strange. And I want to go in.
dive in head
But
first.
yeah, so that was my dream last night.
I love that.
That's awesome. But yeah, I would just kind of let that settle, and you got to let the dust settle, be able to see what went down.
Mhm.
And there's so much excitement, right? There's so much excitement around what was that? What did I see? What's different? What, you know, and you want to, like you said, you just want to just dive into it and just open it up and see all the beautiful wonders that are inside there, but they'll come. I think patience sometimes might be the hardest part.
Because we get excited and we want to know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
But the hard part there is then what meaning are we adding to it? And what
Yep.
part is story that we've made up? And what part is the actual wisdom that's trying to come through?
Yeah, because I think when we were talking, like what I was pointing to before, they said like as soon as you add words to it, then it's somewhat conceptual then because you are adding your meaning to what happened to it. So just let it be. So I don't know if that made sense to you too, but Made sense to me.
No, it does, because sometimes we lose so much of that initial what we see, that initial insight, because we try to put words on it and explain it, and you can't explain the formless, you know? I get caught up in that. I get caught up in that all the time in trying to figure out how to word it to share what I've seen. And, sometimes I can get it worded beautifully, but it still doesn't catch what the actual experience was, because I don't get to share that with anybody because that was mine. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like that saying about how like the enlightened had this secret that they wanted to give away, but they couldn't give it away, and people took it the wrong way. I was like, no, it's just you can't give it.
Yeah.
And that's why they use metaphors and stories to try to invoke your own wisdom to come through.
Yes. And what a beautiful metaphor that you had and dreamt of there, of whatever was blocking, whatever was, being taken down.
See, it's funny because when it's left up to interpretation, so, right, in my interpretation of that explosion, because it was more of a beautiful explosion,
Mm-hmm.
I so feel like it was more of an explosion of, like, however you want to say it, level up in consciousness, going deeper in consciousness, that you have just exploded through to this beautiful level. That's the way I interpret it. So when it's left up to interpretation,
Yeah.
we
And
all have a different way of interpreting it.
like I interpret it as like we build these walls around ourselves and we call it identity. And we call it who we are. And I would think, I don't know, an explosion in my head, I would think that would get rid of the walls that I kept myself stuck in, to be able to fully come into what I truly am, you know? That
And you know what?
go ahead.
No, and you know what's funny is that both of you said the same thing with different words.
Yeah.
You're saying the same thing.
Hmm. That's
And
another
so,
lovely.
yeah, and so even though it's an interpretation, they're both wisdom. That's still wisdom. So interpretations can sometimes be wisdom as well, if you get what I mean. It's
Absolutely.
just your way of sharing it. And sometimes these things are good to be shared because then you have different interpretations of the same thing that different people can hear and understand. Whereas it was funny because just listening to both of you, I could literally hear the exact same message behind the words. Like I could hear
Um,
the essence of it behind the words. And yeah, I felt like similar. I feel like something has been released and an up-leveling has happened. But everything's still very calm and nothing's changed as such. Just this deeper feeling of something has shifted.
yeah. I'm celebrating over here.
A little wiggle over there.
Well, it's quite funny because I spoke to a psychic. I was telling you a little bit about this before. Spoke to a psychic the other day because I was still having a little bit of trouble with my ideal client, even though she's me. And I've been having trouble with the messaging, and so I saw this woman online, and like her messaging was like so on point. It was so triggering me. It was like captivating me, and I'm like, oh my god, I like this woman. And she had a deal on, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I want to do it. And she got my ideal client so fucking bang on. I was like, what the fuck? Like, holy cow. And she said, this is what you need to be talking about. This is who you are. This is who you need to be talking to. And I felt something shift at that point. Like I felt, okay, no more hiding. Because she said, you're hiding behind the modalities you're teaching. It's like you see. It's like you have a gift. And you see through people. You have to bring that out, and you have to bring, like, the modalities are there to, like, thingy. And it's just everything she said. I was like, oh, okay. And ever since that call, like, I felt like, and again, there's this shift that's happened inside me. It's like I've got the core of what I need to do now. And yeah, fascinating.
So who is your ideal client, Melissa?
She is me. She is a woman who has done the fucking work and is tired. She has this sacred rage in her because she's done all the work and she's still stuck in patterns that she can't get out of. She is self-aware, like so self-aware that, most people won't touch her self-awareness. She is intelligent. She analyzes everything. Her self-awareness has turned into self-surveillance, and that's what's keeping her stuck. She often thinks things like, is this actually going to help? She has this cockiness and this kind of like, that's not going to work on me because she's already done it. And she just wants to live the life that she can envision, that she sees. She's tired. She's so fucking fed up with doing the work. And now she just wants to live it. That's my ideal client.
It's beautiful.
Love that.
I think that that's the truth, though, right? All of our ideal clients are literally old versions of us. Because that's the same for me. Not that mine doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, but the people that I love working with are obviously the people that I identify with, that I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like with the self-sabotaging behavior. I know what it feels like to wake up every morning and think that your day is already fucked. Why even try? I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed the minute you wake up full of just this anxious body that cannot do anything but try to figure everything out in my mind for the day. And then one thing doesn't go the way it's supposed to. And well, there goes the whole damn day. And I knew it because I knew it was going to happen, because that's exactly how I prepared, so to speak, for every single day, and preparing with the what ifs. What if this? What if that? What if? What if? What if? It's exhausting. And I know what it's like to be exhausted in your mind. I know what it's like to feel like you're physically exhausted, and you are, because of your mental crap going on. The being so mean to yourself. I was never nice to myself. Maybe as a kid, but that went away very quickly, and I was mean to myself. Like I've said before, I was a terrorist on myself every single day, multiple times a day. And it wasn't always about physical appearance either. It was about intelligence. It was about, you should be doing this by now. You should be here by now. Why aren't you doing this? Look at everybody else. That whole comparison game. I know what it's like to be crippled sometimes by anxiety. I didn't drive for a year and a half because of it. I know what it's like to have massive panic attacks. I know what it's like to lose great loss in your life. And I know what it's like to try and to pick those pieces up and look at what is supposed to be your new normal in life and try to accept that with an open and caring heart. And that's difficult. That's it, at least for me, you know, almost 7 years ago, that's difficult as hell. I know what it's like to go through physical medical diagnosis of having a heart attack, of having 4 stents in my heart, of all of those things, of coughing up blood on the beach for no reason, of all of these. I know what it's like, but there's a difference. I did it quietly. I didn't look for help. I didn't want help. I didn't believe. It's funny that that whole cockiness. I didn't believe, first of all, that anybody could help me. I didn't search for help. I was taught within my conditioning growing up, people don't change. You are the way you are. And I accepted that. I accepted that wholeheartedly as if that was a truth. And it wasn't. But I didn't know that. And I am so blessed and fortunate to have stumbled upon a man who became my mentor, who opened this door that I never knew existed. Never. And I would have never thought, I can't say that because I really don't know the future, but I see that now. Then I would have never thought that there was any such door. In fact, when I first started the Ultimate Coach program, I was like, these people are full of shit. I didn't believe any of them. And they pissed me off half the time. No offense, guys. I love you all. But it was true. And it wasn't until in an instant that everything changed for me. And I, you know, we were talking about putting words to stuff. Over 4 years ago, I cannot put words to it. I cannot do it. It won't do it justice anyway. Because in that split second, that my whole perspective, my whole inside was set free. I don't know how to explain that to somebody, except that it happened and everything around me appeared to be different. Nothing changed outside of me, but everything was just more beautiful, more bright, more real than I'd ever seen in my life. And it didn't matter what it was. And just that level of peace that I didn't knowingly, consciously search for, that I found is incredible. And yeah, that's kind of a rant of like, but it's the everyday person, right? It's that everyday person who thinks that they have to struggle alone, who's too afraid to say, I feel like I'm the problem. I fuck everything up. I'm the one that can't get my shit together. I'm the one that's freaking out at everybody. I'm the one screaming at everybody. I'm so angry. And it seems like I'm angry with everybody, but I'm angry with myself on the inside. And I'm fighting the rage too, but I'm not going to let anybody know that. I'm just going to take it out on everybody around me. That's who I was. And she wasn't very nice at all. So bad. But it's true.
Now,
And
now that is what you need to share.
right?
Yeah.
I know.
Don't stop sharing other people's shit and share this shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you said you couldn't articulate it. You just fucking articulated it like very well.
Well, thanks. But you know, it's that whole feeling of you can't find those words that
You just
really
fucking did.
You
literally,
really
you
did.
need to watch this back and you need to share exactly what you just did.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you
why I
put me
love
in a
Melissa.
trance and
You
you
just
literally, honestly, that is what you need to share.
Yes.
Those kind of stories to connect with those kinds of people
yes.
because they'll know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And yes, you need to share that. And I love that we're like all on different three different areas, yet still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, mine is I know what it's like to go from one extreme to another, and to, you know, the trauma and the loud head and struggling with reality and not being able to trust yourself of, is this even real? And the craziness and chaos that goes along with trauma, drug addiction, homelessness, um, prison, the mental battle of not knowing who you are in your head, or you've had to split yourself into so many different versions just to survive the what the fuck you put yourself into. I know what it's like to claw my way back to reality, to tip over that edge of insanity and come back. And you know, that's why I love my job, because these are the people I get to work with, the ones that so much has happened that their thinking is so all over the place that it's hard to tell who you are. You know, I've struggled with, you know, the searching, with the believing I wasn't good enough, with the what's the point of even trying, and then trying to, well, if I'm in it, I'm going to be the best at it, even if it is bad. And creating that alter ego to, that's the exact opposite of who you are, because that that alter ego will keep you safe because you can't yourself. You know, there's a lot in, especially when you start breaking yourself off into little pieces and different versions and different personalities, it all becomes a blur on what's real, what's solid, and who you are. And that was an everyday struggle. To look normal took every ounce of energy I had, and inside my head was screaming and loud. And now it's like, to have a peace and not having to have that picture identity of who I think I am, and just getting to be.
Beautiful. Which reminds me of actually something you said. Reminds me of an insight I had this weekend, on Friday, about the busy mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even with all of this, like, 3 principles thing and the slowing down, and I still have a very fast mind. Everything is still very quick. And we went on Friday, we went to meet Dave's mum and dad for coffee, and we walked to the town from their house. And so his mum has COP, and like, so she has to walk quite slow. I'm a fast walker. So we obviously deliberately walk slow, like very slow. And I found that at first I was getting very uncomfortable with it, because it was slowing down my mind. And I could feel it. I could feel my mind trying to rev back up, trying to get faster. But because I wasn't walking very fast, it was like my mind couldn't do it. So it was like me deliberately walking slow slowed my mind down. And then I started just by the end of the day, it was just such a beautiful day. You know those days you have on holiday where you're like, how did I get all of that in my day? And then you go back to the hotel or wherever you're staying, you're like, what a beautiful day. It was like that because I'd gone so slow. And that realization made me think, okay, I don't just have a fast mind. That's not just who I am. My thinking is just fast. It can slow down. That's the first time I've experienced that all through these years. And don't get me wrong, my mind, like, I understand my thinking, but it's still been very fast. I've just always thought like, oh, I do everything fast. But this weekend it was really, really, really nice. Like I really felt that kind of the slowing down of the mind. I felt my mind trying to speed up and me like, no, we're going to stay slow. And yeah, because that's something that my ideal client also has as well, like a very fast mind, always going all the time. So yeah, but that's just my mind. That's just my mind. No, it's not. It's just the speed of thinking. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed it as well. Like there's some friends that I have who are absolute love, and they're very similar to me, a bit behind me. But I watch them, and I see how fast their thinking is, and I see that they are the same as me. They walk very fast. They do everything very fast. I'm like, if you slow down, and so it's given me ideas of like how to work with my ideal client as well. It's given me kind of an insight into my own mind. It was just a really, really beautiful insight that I had this weekend of just slowing down and how beautiful that can be. Yes, it can be uncomfortable at first, but it's worth it. So yeah.
It's not a bad uncomfortable though. I explain it as like a first night in your new house, but it's a great big house and you're not used to it. And there's like some noises that you're not used to yet. So it's that, but you
Yeah, I love
know
that.
it's going to be something amazing.
Love that.
I love that, Melissa. So much. So much. Because in the slowing down, yeah, you had a realization of, oh, maybe it is a little fast. And it's not for me, never uncomfortable. Going from overanalyzing and overthinking and doing all that stuff to I loved it. So it was in my new house that I loved. I didn't, I didn't care if a sound came in. I was fine with it. Maybe I might say, what was that? That was it. No investigating, no making up what it was, just kind of noticing it and letting it pass by. It's beautiful. And when you were talking about your experience with, walking slower and that was slowing your mind down. I don't know. It's, I guess, because walking and I picture you in nature and walking and all that stuff. It's that whole old saying that the things that we don't listen to, we're constantly being told, but we just dismiss it. Stop and smell the roses. Most people, they get on surface what that means. Take a moment to take in the beauty. But what I loved about what you shared is it truly was a beautiful window to seeing as you slow down, physically, mentally slow down, you get to take in so much more. And as you take in so much more, the beauty out there is so easily recognizable because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And when our minds are too busy focusing on so many other things, and believe me, I know what it feels like. It's so easy to just not see beauty. It reminds me, like on my birthday this year, I said on a podcast before, now I watch the sunrise and the sunset, not intentionally. It's just something I catch myself doing. But on the morning of my birthday, it was such a beautiful sunrise. And most people, and I have it on video, so maybe I'll share this video because I took a video of it. Because most people would be like, what in the hell is beautiful about that? Because it was cloudy. It was a little bit like a frozen mix going on. The sun was like not shining bright in the sky, but peering through, like just peeking through the little gray clouds. But you could still see it behind there. You could still see it illuminating the sky. You could still see it illuminating all the little moisture coming down. And I thought it was absolutely breathtaking. And I loved it. And in that moment, too, I thought to myself, it doesn't matter what color the sky appears to be. That beauty is still there because I could still see it through the storm that was going on, through the gray clouds, through all of it. It was gorgeous. And I will share that video just so everybody knows what I'm talking about. And I just, yeah, don't know why I shared that, but there you go.
Well, I had a very similar situation to that as well. I was watching the sky like you, and I was seeing all the sun rays coming through. But the only reason I could see them like that was because there was cloud. So it's like, actually, sometimes the cloud is good because you get to appreciate the sun, if that makes sense.
It does, because that's exactly kind of the thought I was having was didn't matter because those clouds and that sleet, rain, snow, whatever the hell was going on this morning were making the sun even more magical. We're letting you see that it can pierce through anything. It doesn't matter. And so, yeah, I just got goosebumps from that. But yeah,
Sometimes what we see as cloudy, stormy is actually like, rainbows. They're beautiful, but they come when it's raining and things like that. And so, and I mean, and I love this. I think it's from Alan Watts. And he talks about like how when we choose to come here, it's like the first time you came here, you probably had the perfect life. You probably had everything was blissful, everything was perfect, everything, every day was a sunny day. And then you probably lived that life and you thought, that was good. Now let's add a little bit of tension, let's add a bit of diversity. And then you go back and then you choose a life where you're born, in poverty or you're born somewhere else. And it's just the way like he explained that is just like so beautiful because now you look at the situations that you think are bad in a whole different way because they add to the experience of your life. All of my experiences in life, I know have added to my life and like they've given me so much joy. Like I can look back at everything and have joy because it's added. I don't even know the right words that I'm trying to find to explain what I mean, but it's just sometimes we need storms.
Yeah.
Grass doesn't grow if we don't have rain. Trees don't grow if we don't have rain. It can't always be a sunny day. I mean, you'd get bored pretty quick and you'd lose, you wouldn't have appreciation for it as much. So I appreciate everything, even the struggles I'm going through. I appreciate them because I know they're always serving me.
Well, and it's funny how our struggles change. Like, yes, I still have struggles. There's still things that don't work out right. Life happens. But I don't struggle the same as I used to. If something doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. It's just, detour, you know? And on that detour brings an adventure. What do I get to learn out of this? And yeah, it's just insane because before, if I would have been told that I would be where I'm at right now, doing the job that I have, doing podcasts, meeting with people around the world, that was like an alternate reality. No way I could have got from where I was to here. But every struggle got me one step closer. And every struggle lined me up for the right path to get here. And now my struggles are still lining me up for what's to come, but I see the struggle different. I relate to the struggle different. It's not attacking me. The world isn't out to get me. And if I don't add a whole bunch of meaning to it and decide what everybody else is thinking and why they're attacking me, there's usually a pretty decent trail to get through the struggle that appears if I'm not covering it up with all of my thinking. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, my bad days now are better than a lot of my good days were not too long ago. Because a bad day isn't the same as it used to be. Things can go completely off script and not work out how they were planned at all. And it's not a breakdown. What the hell is going on? Because I would always turn it on to myself. Anytime something didn't work out, I messed up and it was my fault. And it was more crap that I just added on top. And it, yeah, it's not like that anymore. I don't know if anything I said made sense, so I'm sorry.
It does, because when you're talking about the struggle and there will always be a path, if you just let that thinking settle, don't feed into it, you'll find your way. And kind of what I heard in my mind was, yeah, when you don't force it, s- it'd be kind of like making a bridge over this like water is what with twigs.
Mhm.
As soon as you take a step, you're gonna break a twig, you're gonna fall through, something's gonna happen because you're forcing that outcome that you want. You want to get across there and you're gonna do it, damn it, right now. Okay. You're not waiting for some wisdom to speak. You're gonna do it now. And when we do that, we often find ourselves in a little bit of a jam. At least I know I did in the past always. And yeah, this is what came to me, which is like building this bridge across water of some unstable shit, and you're gonna fall through. And then you're gonna be trying to fix that or swim across or something, and just wait. I don't know. Just that's all. Yep. That's what I heard.
I don't know who I was listening to. I can't remember. But I had another kind of insight the other day. There's so many of us, we think that our thinking is us. We think that our thinking is coming from us. But it's not. And I saw it this way. I saw like different radio waves different frequencies, and the thinking you're having is because you're on a particular frequency. And I was like, oh, so none of these thoughts are me anyway, which I already knew anyway, but I really saw what I was seeing there. I was like, I'm just on a frequency, I'm just on a radio station, and they're the thoughts that I'm getting. And because I'm getting them thoughts, I'm getting the feeling. So my thinking is telling me literally what frequency I'm on. It's like a feedback. Like the thought is a feedback, the feeling is a feedback, the behavior is a feedback, everything is a feedback to telling me what frequency I'm on, and I don't have to do anything about it. I just need to be aware of it. And then, like you said, that last one about how we were one thought away from happiness, just like, you know, it's like the static. It's like, oh, how do I explain this? Just it's not me, it's just a frequency that I'm picking up on. And that kind of like, even though I'd understood it before, it was just like a new depth, a new level of understanding. And I'm like, I really don't have to take these thoughts seriously because they're not mine at all. I am just on a frequency. I'm just getting that feedback back to me. It's like a radio station in the sense that what radio station are you on? That's what you're going to get. You're just getting that frequency that's coming through into a thought. Instead of hearing a frequency, you're hearing it through thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, that really dropped for me.
Yeah, and I just want people to know out there, it's within you to change your frequency because it's so possible. You don't have to be tuned into that same station. And just like Melissa, like you're saying, we believe it is who we are because of that frequency. And so this station was made for me, man. That's my favorite. It plays the greatest hits of Chrystal for sure. Not that they're beautiful moments or really actually great hits, but it's because I'm going to play it over and over again. I'm going to keep on listening because, well, what other station is there? So many, so many. Infinite possibilities of stations, frequencies.
Well, and I think sometimes we might hear that and think, okay, well then how do I change? How do I change my frequency? And that's a trap. That's a trap. Don't worry about how to change it. Just notice that you're on one. Notice that they're not really your thoughts, even if they look real, even if they're about things that are actually going on in your life, they're still just thoughts flowing. And as soon as you stop believing them and step out of them and see them for that, nothing more than thought in the moment, that's the shift. We can see that it's our thinking. Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, like, even like you can feel the shift when you've changed frequencies because your thoughts change. Like mine the other day, for some strange reason, I just thought I'm going to have porridge for breakfast. And I went to calisthenics and I crushed it to that day. And then I had a really good day. And my thinking was different. I hadn't changed. My frequency had. And because you're on a different frequency, I'm saying this because that's the easiest way to explain it, and when you're on a different frequency, you have different thoughts that come to you. So many times we think, oh, I can't change, I blah, blah. That's because you're on that lower frequency. You're not going to get a thought that tells you to do something different on that same frequency. It's just like you're changing. But when you do change, it's like you notice your thinking's changed and you're like, huh, that's weird. Sometimes you don't even notice it, but like I really notice it now because it's like I can feel the subtlest of shifts, and it just amazes me. And And, like, you can have the same thing. That's why the problem is never on the same frequency as the solution.
You know, those lower frequencies, though, they can be very convincing because they're going to seem like us, like our thoughts, like real things we have to worry about because it's going to be thoughts about real things happening in our life. Plus, plus whatever we add to it, and plus whatever meanings put on there. And because it's about actual things happening around us, we think we need to focus on that. We think we need to continue thinking about it because it'll help us. And those low frequencies, once you grab onto one and believe it, it's just going to keep pumping more and more at you till you get overwhelmed and frustrated and feel like there's no hope. And then usually you get so exhausted, you take a nap, and then you wake up, and all of a sudden it doesn't seem so bad because when you wake up, you're on a different frequency. Not all the time, but it's learning to recognize when you're in that low one and all of those thoughts are coming up, even if they're about what's going on right now, it's still thought. I think that's a huge, huge thing that people struggle with because, you ask them, is this happening right now? Well, yeah, right now this is going on and so has this happening and I'm in charge of this. But right in this moment, you don't have to figure every single one of those things out. And they're stacking up because we're stuck in that lower frequency. And
I love that.
as soon as we can see that and just watch it instead of engaging with it and believing it, it's that simple seeing it as a frequency, and all of these thoughts are coming to make me feel this way.
Or it's like I see it as you have the frequency or the source or the mind or whatever, and the thoughts are articulating what frequency you're on, and your emotions are telling you where it's taking you, how it feels. Our emotions are our biggest guidance system.
Yes.
But we get stuck in the emotions and we like, oh my God, I feel so shit, I feel crap. Instead of realizing, no, that's just a guidance system that's just telling you what the thoughts are doing. And it's like, as soon as you clock on, like, oh, okay, I'm feeling shit, which means I must be thinking shitty thoughts. So I'll just stop, let them go, and then I'll naturally be on a better frequency.
Yes.
If I stop taking it so fucking seriously and stop thinking that it's mine, that these thoughts are mine, that this is me, that I'm this whatever I'm thinking. No, they're just language that's coming through to you because we think. We are humans. We use our thinking to navigate this world. And our emotions are to navigate how that thinking is driving us. When we
Yeah.
sit like that, bing, life is not so serious anymore.
Right. There really are traffic signals.
Yeah.
Red, green, amber, if we want to put it that way, instead of yellow, but whatever. Do you know what I mean? Slow down, stop, go faster. There are traffic signals. They're letting us know what kind of traffic is going on. And yeah, the feeling that comes with it. Am I in a traffic jam? Because I'm getting frustrated and pissed off, and I just have somewhere to be, and this traffic is in my way. Absolutely, it is. That traffic is in your way. It always will be until you see there never really was a traffic jam. There doesn't have to be a traffic jam. We're literally making that traffic jam in our minds with our thinking and feeding into it and adding on to it and all of those wonderful creative things that we do. That's what happens.
Yeah. What are you creating today? I love that. Because
Mm-hmm.
we are creators.
Yes.
What are we creating? Are we creating misery? Are we creating frustration? Are we creating desperation? And are we creating depression? What are we creating?
Yes.
No one else is doing it to us.
I love that. Such a beautiful way to put that.
Yeah.
What are we creating?
Your reality is going to show you.
Yeah.
And reality does shift. When you start shifting your reality around, it starts to shift, and it's fucking freaky, and it's wild, and it feels like supernatural, but it's not. It's just how it works.
See, now I say it's beautiful and it's magical and it's supernatural, and I don't give a shit if anybody thinks that's weird. That's exactly what it is. It's amazing. That is how it works.
It is. And it's amazing how quickly reality can shift with nothing changing.
Nothing outside of
Yeah,
us.
because nothing on the outside has changed. But my reality from today and even 2 years ago, completely different.
My reality shifts constantly
Mhm.
because my level of consciousness is shifting constantly all the time at the minute. I'll go up and then I'll go down, and my reality will relate to that literally in real time. And I'm like, fucking crazy.
But it's such a cool crazy.
It is. It's like, it's fascinating. Like, the other day, this is so random, right? So I asked the universe for money. I was like, can you show me some money? And I got an email from the National Lottery saying I've got £3 in my account. I've not done the National Lottery in years. I was like, Dave, look, I just got £3. Like, it's not much, but then it's like, the universe is kind of like gives you, like, if you can appreciate that, then it gives you more. You can appreciate that, and it gives you more, you know? And so I appreciate every little thing now. And it was just literally straight after I asked. And so much stuff like that has happened to me so many times, and bad stuff and good stuff. And it's like, it really does reflect you.
Mhm.
It's a game. Life is a game.
Mhm.
Yes.
And you can either make it a miserable fucking game, or you can make it fun as you like.
You can be winning or you can be losing. That's up to you. Every single moment. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's our game.
That feels like a good spot. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, ask questions, reach out to us. We are here. Let us know what you think. Let us know topics you would like us to talk about.
Thanks, guys. Been lovely.
1,